The new selection pack, Dreaded Conspiracy, has just came out and it has a lot of good archetypes in it, such as the combo-heavy Dark Rolls and some of the best trap decks to ever come out, such as Labyrinth. But what if I told you that Traptrix actually has an advantage over Labyrinth? Because in a match against Labyrinth, Traptrix is actually always favored because of their advantages of being able to be unaffected by all traps and their easy spell trap removal with Myrmeleo. So today I'm actually going to show you my Traptrix list. Now to obtain this, you'll definitely need to open some of these packs for the new pack Dreaded Conspiracy, for the new Traptrix cards such as Atypus, but also you'll probably need to go into the secret pack that you'll unlock from the Mother Nature Snare and need to get triple or at least 2 Traptrix Serra from this pack. So it is not the easiest to get, but if you have saved up some and if you already opened Dreaded Conspiracy, then it should be easy enough. Now let me quickly show you the deck list. Now I took a similar deck list to this, to the 250th YCS actually, and I did quite well there. If you know how Traptrix works, you can pretty much always win against Labyrinth, and with a good hand you can always stop the combo decks as well. Both in the 250th YCS and in Yugioh Master Duel today actually so far, that I have never lost a single game against Labyrinth. We have a lot of good cards to counter Cheer Elements, and if they release Kashtira, we'll have a lot of good cards to counter them too. Let's go over the cards quickly. We obviously have the triple Maxi and triple Ash, because we are a special summon heavy deck and our opponents are probably going to be special summoning as well. We have triple Myrmeleo, one of the best normal summons, which adds a whole normal trap on normal summon and destroys a spell trap on special, which will come up a lot. Dionea is also pretty good. On normal summon you can revive another Traptrix, and on special you can set one of your trap holes from your graveyard. Mantis on normal summon adds another Traptrix monster to your hand, and then quick effect return a trap and then set another one if you need to. Pudica is also pretty good, it's one of the new ones. On normal summon it adds the field spell to your hand, and on special it banishes one of your opponent's monsters until the standby phase. And Arachnocampha is also really good, which has a quick effect to summon itself, and while it's on the field, your set spell traps can't be destroyed once. They're also playing Parallel Edge Seat because it's very easy for us to summon a linked 1 monster, and this is just a free rank 4 once we do so. For consistency we have a Prosperity, but it's limited to 1, so we are playing 1 Traptantalizing Tune as well. The field spell, by the way, allows you to normal summon twice essentially by giving you another Traptrix normal summon. It also protects your insects or plant monsters from distraction by battle. And also, which last effect doesn't really come up that often, but you can banish a monster you control to summon a Traptrix from your hand or your graveyard. Then we have the traps. We have Bottomless Trap Hole, because it hits pretty much everything and banishing it critics against Cheer Elements. Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare is one of the broadest traps you can ever have, because every deck special summons and most monsters activate their effects. Time Space Trap Hole is also really good. This is especially good against both Cheer Elements and Labyrinth, because Cheer Elements, if they go back to the extra deck, they won't trigger, and the Lady Labyrinth summons from the hand, so if you send it to the deck, that's going to be really bad for them. Flygate Trap Hole is kind of a catch-all for all normal summons. This card is gonna get a lot better once Kashtira comes out, but so far it's still alright. Gravedigger's Trap Hole is good at stopping hand traps such as Nibiru, but can also stop furniture for the Labyrinth decks. Even the 3 element effects in the graveyard will gonna be caught up with this. And Terrifying Trap Hole is the last one. This can be pretty good because it allows you to not just destroy a monster but also banish another one from your opponent's graveyard. Also really good at 2 for 1 against 2 elements, so I like to play it. And Chaos Trap Hole, now this is a counter trap. Wait, you're not supposed to be here. There though, nothing to see there folks, and instead we have 2 Imperms and triple Evenly Match, which are also normal traps that you can discard for your own effect, and these cards are really good for in second. Evenly Match is especially good against Cheer Elements right now, but it's great pretty much all the time if you are doing second, and if you are doing first you can just discard it for your Holeutea effect. Imperm is also very similar and good at stopping a lot of different cards. Now for the extra, we obviously have 3 Serra. I was lucky enough to pull a Royal Serra today, which I'm still really happy about. This is one of your main cards in your deck, where if you summon a Traptrix, it will set a trap hole from your deck, and if you activate a trap hole, it will summon a Traptrix from your deck, so it's really insane. Pingucila is one of the new ones, and it's really good, where it's not just a Traptrix searcher, but it will also just attach one of your opponent's monsters when they have been sent to the graveyard or banished by a card effect, and then become unaffected by those types of monsters, which is unexpectedly comes up a lot. Rafflesia is obviously the infamous one, and it's really good, which allows you to activate trap holes from your deck And it also protects all the other Traptrix as they can't be destroyed by battle or card effects while Holeutea is on the field. Leader is really nice because since Holeutea is a trap, you will be able to make Leader with a trap and a monster, meaning that you can return a face-up card your opponent controls to the top of their deck for free and without targeting. Odrusa is kind of a catch-all and it outs a lot of the decks such as Fluanderies or even something like Punch when they mate. And they mate an unaffected monster that is only unaffected by deactivate effects. You just switch it to defense, negate everything. This is a pretty helpful, useful toolbox card. And then we have Abyss Dweller, which is really good against tier elements, but I wouldn't really make it against many of the other decks, so this kind of really depends on if you know what your opponent is playing on. Something like on a turn 2 or turn 3, this card can come up a lot. Olamoris is a weird one, but I think it's important to play it as a one-off. It can definitely allow you to push for damage, and if there's a monster your opponent controls that you would like to steal, then with its second effect you can do so by detaching a card. And obviously we are playing Zeus because we are playing all these HC's monsters, so we might as well turn them into a Zeus as well. For our link twos, we have also the Earth Charmer because everyone is playing Maxi, so this is a pretty easy link climb to be honest. And then we are trying to climb into Atypus, which Maxi is an insect monster, so you can just do it with an also stealing a Maxi and mate Atypus, which is going to deal 1000 attack to all your Traptrix and allow you to negate the monsters your opponent controls and banish a normal trap to destroy at least one of those. Finally, we have Holeutea. I don't particularly like this card, this is like the 15th card in the deck, but it is also a Traptrix monster and allows you to reset your traps if they have been drawn to the graveyard. Later in the game, if you go to a really grind game, this card becomes a lot more valuable, but I find that games end quite a lot faster than that with Traptrix. But without further ado, let me show you a couple of games. Now, let me start with the matchup I promised, Labyrinth. I played against a lot of Labyrinth players today, but all of them ended similarly, so I think this match is going to show up pretty effectively. We're going to start with Pudica, which is going to add the field spell to us, and they will chain the furniture to set Welcome Labyrinth. They're actually activating this pretty early, which is going to cost them quite a lot. Now we can mate our Serra, using our Pudica, and activate our Nakampa from our hand to summon itself. Since we activate the Traptrix, this will trigger Serra, and we can set Holeutea from our deck, and then we can activate the Holeutea by discarding a normal trap from our hand. Now, when Holeutea is summoned, that's going to trigger Serra, which is going to summon Murmillo, and when Murmillo is special, they're going to destroy a spell trap they control, which is going to be their Labyrinth. Now we can exist summon into a Pingucila, and activate its effect to search a Murmillo. Now we can activate the field spell with another normal summon and summon the Murmillo and search a time-space trap hole. I'm searching this because I'm expecting them to summon a Welcome Labyrinth. It summons from hand, so we're just going to be able to shuffle it back to the deck with this. Finally, we're going to draw for Holeutea, which is very important for the deck, and end it. They draw another furniture for turn, but I'm just going to stop that by discarding by detaching a material and activating Gravestress Trap Hole from my deck. That's going to negate the furniture and deal 2000 damage to them. And this will also trigger Serra since I activate the Traptrix monster and set Holeutea from my deck. I have no choice but to set 2 traps, and I can actually destroy one of them by banishing the Holeutea and summoning the Murmillo. With only one trap card left and may have in my whole board, they are just going to surrender right there. Here's another one since the first one was pretty great. This match actually has quite an interesting interaction that I want to show off, so that's why I definitely wanted to share this. Now, our hand is not particularly great, but we actually can do with the Parallel XD. We're going to make Serra and then activate the Parallel XD to summon it, and then another Parallel XD from our deck. We can now XD summon into Pingucila and activate its effect to search for another Traptrix, which is going to be our Nakampa since we already used our normal summon. This will trigger Serra and we can set a Holeutea from our deck, and then activate the Holeutea to discard the one in our hand. Now they're going to trigger their Labyrinth of the Silver Castle here since I activate the normal trap, but once again they shouldn't have done that, but because we actually have good ways of healing it. Because now with Serra I can summon Pingucila and Pingucila can banish it until the standby phase. But now a card has been banished, so the Pingucila can attach it as a material and they will no longer summon back their lovely Labyrinth because it's now attached to my Pingucila. Now we can just make the Holeutea as usual and pass the turn, and you can see the Pudica triggering here, but they won't be able to use it at all. Since they have just stayed in 3 and ended their turn, we're just going to trigger Earth Nakampa so that we get Serra's effect so we can set Holeutea from our deck and activate it next turn. Still also, since with Holeutea is only once per turn, I might as well use a tier and get one more material to our field. Now we can just go into another XC summon, and I'm just going to make another Rafflesia because I'm afraid of what they might summon, and since Rafflesia is a soft once per turn, this is going to be really effective. I'm going to trigger Sarah here, and seeing that they don't have much they can do, they're just going to concede once again. But you might be wondering, how does this deck perform against a combo deck? So here we are going to be playing against Branded with actually a pretty good opening hand, but their opening hand is going to be insane as well. We're going to start with Pudica and adding the Garden to our hand. I'll make this faster since this game is going to take quite a lot. We're going to make Sarah, activate the field spell, summon Dianea, use its effect to get Pudica, activate Sarah to set the trap, activate the Holeutea to summon it, activate Sarah to get Mantis, and then we're going to XC summon into Rafflesia and Abyss since I'm afraid that they might be on Chigelman. But that's actually not going to be the case, but we're going to see. Right, I'm special summoning Ecclesia and activating the Duster. It's good that I didn't really set any traps here, but they're going to try into an Fallen of Albaz, and I have to Rafflesia here, otherwise they can just use and summon it with the Rafflesia anyway. This will trigger the Sarah as well, and we can set the Holeutea, but that's pretty much our interaction for the turn, except for a few special summons that I can do. But it turns out they have both Branded Loss and Branded Fusion, so this is going to be pretty rough for us when they summon the Albion. We're going to banish 2 and summon Lubellion, and then use Lubellion's effect and add Cartesia to their hand, which is going to be pretty rough. They can also activate Mercurier since it's banished and not sent to the graveyard, and then actually make Mirjade. Mirjade are going to get rid of our Rafflesia since they can't get rid of our Sarah because they can't really do anything about it. But they can now summon their Chits, set a card, and go into battle and hit us in the face. I'm going to take this damage. I can actually reduce this by using the Holeutea from my graveyard, but I do want to save that for next turn. They have a pretty good board, but very little interaction. In the end phase, I'm going to trigger Sarah so that we can activate its effects right away. We're going to draw a Parallel Exit, which is going to be quite helpful here. Starting with the Holeutea to trigger Sarah and get the Murmillo to get rid of the face down since that's the only unknown that we don't know about. Then we can actually start roaming off and make a timely Feeder, and then normal summon Murmillo to get another trap for the next turn. Then we can link 2 with just to trigger the Parallel Exit, and then Parallel Exit will summon another Parallel Exit, which is going to make Pinandula. Now we can activate our monster here to make a link 2, which is going to be Atypus, and then Pinandula is just going to set a normal summon for the next turn. Atypus is going to be able to destroy one of their monsters, and then we can also activate Pinandula to attach it to us so it won't trigger in the end. Time to Feeder can return Mirjade to the extra deck so it won't be able to destroy our whole board in the end phase, and then we can just go into battle and hit them for a lot of damage. They're on pretty few cards here, but they actually have a lot of graveyard effects since they're not under Abyss anymore. They're going to add both Cartesia and Ecclesia back to their hands, and they're going to be drawing a card, putting them on 3 cards. Feeder is not going to really steal anything useful, but when they activate Ecclesia and go into Albaz, we can just use the Traptrix Nightmare that we have searched, and now we can trigger Pinandula to attach the Albaz to us. They're going to normal summon their monster, but it's actually not going to do anything, so they're just going to surrender here. And that's the deck. This deck is pretty effective during first, and even if you are doing second, something like Evenly Matched can really balance the board out there and allow you to play as if you are going first. I highly recommend this deck as one of the best trap decks ever, and I would say, even though Labyrinth can be better in meta sometimes, this deck is actually favored when matched against Labyrinth specifically, so if you are looking to play a trap deck that is a bit more combo-like and less like Labyrinth, then Traptrix will definitely be your cup of tea and I would highly recommend it. As the meta changes, you can absolutely change the trap holes that you're bringing with you, or just change your hand trap lineup, bring a smaller engine, etc. These changes are possible, and there are also some flexibility within the extra decks, such as the Abyss Dweller, or like the Taloria can easily be changed with another card. You also don't have to have like 3 Sarah, double Rafflesia, double Pingucila, but I would definitely prefer to have this access, so if you're able to, I would recommend you play them. But that's it for the deck today. I hope you enjoyed my video, and if you do, you know the usual stuff, like, subscribe, comment, whatever you want. I'll see you in another video.